Need a wet rag. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Man, it's early, man. We're gonna get into this, man. Got a lot of stuff to catch up on, man. We're gonna catch up though. We're a little bit behind, but we're gonna catch up. On this channel we do a lot of stuff, and today we're gonna get off up a little game. We're gonna give it to you the right way. And probably the most important thing. Let's pull on up, man. You got Michael B. Jordan up here, right? You got Michael B. Jordan. He works out. He's very successful. Whatever his management team, whatever they got together, and he started out on the wire, and they put together some projects, and he got into the Black Panther, and he dated a big name chick, with the Steve Harvey thing. So the Creed, the success of Creed, Sylvester Stallone, moving away from Sylvester Stallone. This last one, he put it together, all together, made quite a bit of money. I mean, his net worth probably tripled right after that movie. Charm. People talk money, status, looks. That matters, but the charm, most important thing is you, man, your personality. What kind of person you are, and how do you have the ability to project that? That's the most important thing, and that's actually the one. I don't think any of them are easy, but I think that that's one people can fix, and they need to focus on. People never don't focus on that one. They focus mostly on going to the gym, um, making money. They don't focus on how to be charming, charismatic, and it comes into also your job opportunities. As far as your employment, obtaining, hiring, all of that is charm. All of that, and you can work on that, man. You can work on that. So it's like a light switch. You cut it on and off. And you have to have the ability or focus on the ability of people liking you. And it's things that you can do or should do to achieve that goal. When you look at Michael, right? People just look and say, okay, the guy's in shape or whatever. It's more to it than that. This guy had to go in there with those film scripts. He's got to get that pass. He had to read for Creed. He had to win over Sylvester Stallone. He had to project so that the public, American public, would go and support his films, and they're doing it. I don't know if Jonathan Majors, I don't know. I don't know if he'll be a part of it anymore. Didn't particularly like that anyhow. I didn't like the thug aspect of it. I thought that took from it. And let's talk about this stuff, right? Let's talk about the thug stuff, right? Let's talk about the thug stuff. You have to be careful with that. You have to be careful with that because there's a lot of manipulation. It's a lot of manipulation when you see the thugs and the 304s and all of that. It's transactional. Um, it's very manipulative. You see a lot of your hip hop, your rappers, a lot of them. And NFL, you see the Stephon Diggs, the Cardi B's. You see these people really have they don't have normal emotions. They don't have normal healthy emotions. They're a little bit off, and you can't really gauge anything by them. And perhaps it's their money, or perhaps it's their ego. Both of them. Maybe they're looking at the world from that perspective, but you don't really go by them. You go by you. I will say this. I'll say this. If you're serious about winning at dating, you gotta leave the ghetto alone, man. You gotta leave that low hanging fruit. You got to leave it alone, man. If you're serious, if you're not just you don't care, you're gonna take what you can get, then okay, I got you. A lot of that's transactional. A lot of that's transactional. It's unpredictable. It opens you up, especially if you have something, to being robbed, to being harmed. And see, when you start living like that, man, that's not a person who's really trying to make it at all. That's not a person that's trying to be successful. When you walk in a room, you got to take it over, but you got to do it in a way that you have tact and you have class. And when you say charisma, what is that? That's the guy who's I'm not saying the class clown. See, they have a version of that where it's a bad way of doing it. That's not the way you really want to do it, but that is a way. That's as opposed to just being boring. You can say that, but everybody can identify with this. The person who, if you have if it's Thanksgiving, if it's Thanksgiving, if it's Christmas, if there's any type of event, social event, right, a wedding, a funeral, that person or those people, where when they arrive, everything changes. People calm down, people get happy, people feel comfortable, people almost wait for those individuals. It could be a room full of people, and people are barely socializing. They're just looking across at each other, not even talking. Then there's one individual who's very charismatic shows up, and all of a sudden, the conversation is getting louder. People are happy. You feel comfortable. You notice that, and you can look at that person and say, "Wow, wow, this person has a energy about them where they can connect to people." Now, you can ignore what I say, and you can go pay somebody $300 an hour and listen to them. Go ahead. But in the end, you need to be working up to that if you really in life, unless you retire. But even then, you got to have some charisma because you still got to deal with people. When you go to the hospital, guess what? You got to deal with the nurses. They're paid to help, but they have to look forward when they get to your room. They have to go to work, man. Anyhow, you're right. It's a boring job, right? But guess what? When they go to 1407, there you are. You cheer them up. You ask about their family. You smile, and you look forward. They look forward to taking care of you. You got to get taken care of anyhow, right? And I'm saying it's an undervalued trait that guys more focus on status and money and was it status, money, and looks, yeah. When they really need to focus on being charismatic, learning how to talk, learning how to communicate. When you say a guy is going to learn a language and go to a foreign country, that's going to help him. That's going to make the people like him. That's going to make him as a foreigner. Somebody's going to look at them and say, this person learned my language. This person doesn't speak my language. They learned my language and they're trying to communicate. That comes off. That brings out a certain. It makes the people feel good. Makes the people feel valuable. That someone that would take the time out to learn their language, and don't even want to talk about 3 or 4. Now that's something. That's a whole different subject matter. But those are traits that's often not talked about, man. And just getting the right response when you talk about going out, going somewhere, introducing yourself. You want to see smiles. You want people to give you the feedback that you're looking for. You want to win. You want to win. And I'm gonna say this right now. Anybody that's out there that's undermining this, that's a hater. You got to get that hater away from you. That's someone that's just a hater. You don't even want to deal with them. And sometimes we get beat down so bad, man. We catch so much rejection and we fail that we become haters. We become bitter. We want to believe nobody can win. Everybody's got to pay. And we turn in on ourselves. And people like that, those people are losers. And you got to get away from people like that. They'll poison your spirit. You see a lot of them on YouTube. A lot of them on YouTube. They think the only way any man can be successful at dating is paying. And then you see the guys that are really they're really focused on the money, the status, and the looks. And they ignore the charisma, the charm part, which is probably the most important part. And it's not to be a simp, right? It's not to be a pushover. You do need to get along and you can to a certain degree steer the conversation. It's about success too. More than anything, it's about being successful. I've always said I do what works. I do what works. Give me 10 minutes with any potential. Give me 10 minutes with any potential date. I got her. It's always just give me 10 minutes. I'll win her over. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. That's how easy it is. But I've sort of mastered mine. And I'm always trying to fine tune it and pick up things. And from somebody who grew up in the hood, I'm not now on that side. I'm really not trying to go down that rabbit hole. That's really unpredictable. Not really my thing. What's the prize? What prize do you win dealing with someone, for a lack of a better word has failed as a female? She's failed as a female. She got a bunch of kids. She's living with her sister. She's living in the ghetto. She's doing hair in the garage. She might even be stripping, selling box. That's what you see what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? Going into those relationships and stuff like that, you can't go by a normal, healthy relationship. What we're talking about over here is normal, healthy relationships. That's what we're talking about. And the people who seek those, not the people who, and let me tell you something, as long as you got your, the lowest common denominator, as long as you're going the easiest way. You're taking the path of least resistance. You're gonna always fail, and you can see a lot of these dudes. That's why they got failed marriages because they take the path of least resistance. They never want to do anything hard. We talked to the guy. He's going overseas. He's learning Brazil. Well, no, you don't have to learn Brazil. You can sit back. Brazil, yeah, he's learning Spanish or whatever they speak. Portuguese. He's learning Portuguese. You can sit back and play video games and then go over there and hey, enjoy. Go and have a wonderful time. But the point is he's learning a language. And that's gonna help him. And that's on the road to being charming and having a winning personality. All of that. That's very smart. And a lot of times when I look at relationship, I be wondering, do guys want to win? We talk about settlement, right? We hear our host so much about settling. Well, do you want to win? Are you trying to win? What are you doing? If she's easy for you, she's easy for all the men that came before you. If you smashed the first day you met her online, and 2 days later you smashed, that means she's been doing that. It's not hard. Guys think it's hard because they comparing it to what they got that's easy. It's not hard. And it's the completion of a man. You develop your personality. You have charm. People gravitate to you in a social setting. You notice it. When you're not there, people are not even communicating. When you get there, they're all gravitating towards you. They all want to pick your brain. You know how to talk to them that makes them feel good. You have a good relationship with all people. And this is what people have got to work on, man. When you talk about the hip hop and stuff like that, that's not a good judge of how you should be. If you go to jail, hey, you got to fit in, right? If you in jail, if you a person in jail, then you got to fit in. So you got to deal with that situation. You can't be the only person who's looking down on them saying, "Hey, you got to be a part of what they're doing, man." That's the same thing in the real world. Well, you got to be a part of that. You got to be a part of the real world. And do you want to be productive? One thing about Kevin Samuels, he wore his suits. He wore his ties. He wanted to project an adult appearance to the world. He wanted to carry himself as an adult, a professional. He brought that to YouTube. We see all these people who trying to copy him now, or they've been trying to be like him. He brought that to YouTube. When people saw YouTube, when they saw him there, they saw a black man who was dressed up, looking almost like he was going to church or he was going to work. And his message caught fire. And I remember him. I remember Kevin. I think he had, I don't know, 12,000. I don't know. He had a channel, man. He had about 12,000 subs. And he said, "Platinum, when you start your channel, what you gonna talk about?" I said, "Man, I don't know." I said, "Probably relationships." He said he went and he tested it out on his channel. It took off, and then it never stopped from there. Prior to that, he was just talking about shoes and cologne. And more power to him, man. More power to the brother. Pull on up, man. We gonna put this stream in here, man. You gotta have charisma. Let's talk about what are ways, what are some things you need to knock down. All right. Okay. You gotta work this on your communication. You gotta focus on your communication. That's utmost important. If you ask me what's more important, working out or tightening up your mouthpiece. And see, when we say mouthpiece, people tend to think we're talking about some slick talking type dude. You don't have to talk slick. You can. You don't have to talk slick. You have a winning personality. You people gravitate towards you. That's what we're talking about. People feel like they can talk to you forever. And another thing too on that, that's the whole thing. When you're talking about women, you want to get them talking. Once they start talking, you shut up. And they'll tell you everything you need to know. Most people, when you say mouthpiece to a certain degree, you got to be a good listener. You have to be ready to respond properly. And you got to remember things during the conversations. If you're just trying to smash and stuff, to a certain degree, it ain't that big a deal. But if you start talking about quality female, you got to pay attention. Just got to pay attention. And there's no set of tricks, man. It's just called, it's life. If you're going to buy a car today, it's your personality that's going to get you the deal. Yeah, they're going to try to make money, but they can make less money off of you because they like you. You listen, you know about him. You know his kid is named Charles because he bought him up. You remember stuff like that. You pay attention. That's the focus. That's how you get out of the doghouse and all of that in life with the foolishness. Got to be a leader. Got to be a leader, man. Got to have a carefree attitude, and a leader who people want to follow, not just someone who's self-defined leader. You see that on YouTube. People declare themselves leaders because they got a bunch of subscribers, and we all know if it wasn't for Google, they would be raking fucking leaves. They have no marketable skills. They just dusty niggas with YouTube channels. That's not a leader. They can't even lead themselves. Hence, once again, Kevin Samuels. You can say whatever you want. He was an effective leader. He was an effective leader. And he jumped off a YouTube channel. And he did what a lot of dudes could not do. He left them in the dust, including me. He left them in the dust. And I can remember back in the day, man, for a moment, it was a summer. Spike Lee should produce a movie called Summer of Kevin. For a moment, Kevin held the summer and he was doing numbers better than TV. And people were shutting streams down to go listen to Kevin. And I saw every type of person you can imagine over there. I saw white people, black people. I saw this type of content creator over there, this type of, they all were over there. What's that song? Da, da, na, 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 na. Dum, 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 dum. Dum, 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 dum. Dum, 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 dum. He single-handedly put them, whatever that song is, he put them on the map. And the reason I say he put them on the map, what have you heard from them lately? They have other songs. That group, they have other songs. That's another thing, having awareness. He was aware enough. He saw the promise of that song. He saw it. He captured it and melded it with him, his personality, his show, and it was distinct. And to this day, a lot of people like the song. I got it. I got it somewhere. I don't have it at hand, but I got it somewhere. I downloaded it. You just go over there. It's on there. I think that's you can call it up. Say Kevin Samuel song. That's not them people who made that. That wasn't. That's a song. What's it called? Tell me lie. True lies. True lies. Is it true lies? It's true lies, right? Yeah. It's something like that. Tell me lies. I don't know if you guys ever heard the vocal part of it. It's a vocal to it. True lies. Ah. It's like a old. It has an old R&B feel to it. It's a good song. So being a leader is very important. And see, these are things when you're not these things, you need to work on them. You need to put the video games down. You don't have the time. Work on being a leader. Work on having the attributes of a leader. Work on your conversation. Become a good listener. You could talk to your grandma, talk to your friends, your family. You need to get your communication skills up. Let people finish a sentence before you interrupt. That ain't gonna work. I'll tell you right now, that ain't gonna work. Interrupting them, that ain't gonna work. Projecting, man, you got to be the life of the party. And you're only gonna, I'm gonna tell you something. You're only gonna run into trouble when you deal with niggas. And see, people don't like to tell the truth on YouTube. As a black man, you ain't gonna have no problem. You can go to the fairs, you certainly can go overseas. And over there, the only if you went to the DR today, the only people that you have to worry about is other black Americans. That's it. The other they could care less. You can be there, not be there. Now, if you're trying to get a lady of the night and you get scoped, that's two different things. That's two different things. That's a woman who's waiting. You just got. They saw you coming. But no, just if I went to the DR today and I just walked around, people don't care. They don't give a damn about me one way or the other. But if I saw 15 Americans, guess what? One of them gonna probably size me up. And don't let me be with a baddie. You can't tell me nothing about living abroad. I lived there. I know what they do. And when you start talking about charm, you best to get out of. As a man, you got to stand alone. You don't have a choice. As a man, you got to stand alone, man. So look, growing up, 13, 14, lots of friends, basketball, football, lots of friends. You still can have them as an adult, but you got to stand alone because they got to be at the same. They got to be the same speed that you are. They can't be weak. They got to keep up. Just like running 2 miles. They can't fall too far behind because then you'll lap them. And then you got to deal with the ego. You gonna have plenty of you could go to you can go to a nightclub right now. Three of the people you work with or three friends, and you just it's your night. You just on fire. Numbers. Every time they see you, you right in the middle of their conversation. You over there laughing. You sitting down. And the other guys are standing there saying, "Damn, man, you know them like that?" You said, "No, I don't know 'em. I just met them tonight." And they like, "Damn, oh damn, how come we can't get in like that?" Those guys gonna start. They're gonna now. I'm telling you, man, from experience, they're gonna attack you from a uh, egotistical standpoint. They're gonna start pointing out faults. Hey, man, look at her though. I don't like her, man. Her teeth don't hurt me. About some. So matter like no matter what you do, that's good. They're gonna say something negative. And see, as a man, you have to acknowledge that and say, I'll never go anywhere with these guys. I don't need this. I don't need nobody. I don't feel insecure. I don't need nobody to go to the club with me. Oh, because you know what? I'm a talker. And that's the thing. If you ain't gonna do that, you can forget about that. You gotta be a talker, man. If you ain't now, you need to start. You gotta get your conversation up, man. You can't fear rejection. You just can't do it, man. You're actually actively looking to communicate. All of this, the men saying the women can come talk to all that stuff. Look, when you go in, you're looking around. Hey, man, oh, you feel out of place. Oh, you don't feel comfortable. Well, maybe you need to go home. Okay, you just sit there, you get a drink, you go, you say hello to one person, maybe pick up a conversation with a guy. Let me tell you, that's another thing. That's another thing, man. You don't want to do that. There are other guys in there and they're insecure and they say, you guys talking basketball, football, and hours go by and the women are coming in and out and you just over here talking to this guy. And both of you guys are really intimidated or shy or afraid. And you're just over there just talking. And yeah, good conversation, but you didn't go there for that. You didn't go there. You need to get involved, man. If you ain't willing to get involved, don't go. And this is all of the things guys running. You can go out here and run 10 miles and lift weights and look smacks and get your money up. And you know what? If that's what you need, you still gonna get a divorce. You're gonna be used. That woman gonna use you, man. That woman is gonna get to know you and use you and toss you off into the pile of unwanted men that came before you. But you did it to yourself. And charming ain't comedy. It's not comedy. You don't have to be SpongeBob. You don't have to be Eddie Murphy. You don't have to be Michael Epps. Though, if you're dealing with the hood chicks, his stuff works with them. If you're dealing, I'm telling you, if you're dealing with hood chicks, his stuff works. And when I say his stuff, I mean his persona, the way he carries himself, the way he dresses, his topics. That's what I mean. Where he is when his comedy, a lot of his topics. Corey Holcomb to some degree. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. Corey's not my cup of tea, but a lot of women respond to Corey Holcomb. I don't now hold on. Let's say what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about him. I'm just saying his comedy, his way he presents things. He's a little bit aggressive, but he's a very confident dude. And he's being rewarded now. We see on this channel. He had record donations, record membership, and it looks like they bought somebody in who's very familiar with social media. So if, say, by June, if this guy comes down, that channel's going to triple. And one thing Corey has that a lot of these YouTubers don't, Corey actually knows people. He don't have to. Not a YouTuber who knows another. I'm talking about he actually knows celebrity. He actually has access. And this exorcism that's going on now, once that stuff is out, he's got access to a lot of celebrities. And he just started out wrong. He did some things. He's learned his mistake. He'll have to pay for it. I mean, we'll see, right? This is what people get. This is what you get on YouTube. And listen, those are his jokes. I don't listen to Corey Holcomb. I don't listen to him. That's what I'm saying. Most of these YouTube listen to him way more than me. I don't listen to his jokes. And dude don't want me to say it. I said, Anton, I said, yeah, if I listen to content, he's a little bit extreme to me, but I listen to his stuff. Some of it made sense. What about Corey Holcomb? I really didn't listen to him unless somebody broke down some of the stuff and it was something interesting. Because it's not my comedy. It's not my style. That's not where my style is. I'm counter to that. Like when you say when he first comes on, it's a bunch of women, like a laundromat. I mean, he did too. He grew up in Robert Taylor homes. He grew up in Robert Taylor homes that was in Chicago. He grew up in the projects, right? I grew up in the hood. I don't like stuff like that. I don't like laundromats and holes outside. I don't like. That's what I'm saying. So, I saw that enough. I don't want to see. If I can help it, God willing, I just what I'm saying. So that's not what I'm into. Man, we had so many neighbors knocking on our door. Can I borrow some flour? Can I borrow some salt? My baby need milk. It's okay. And they never paid you back. Them people stayed knocking on your door. I'm telling you, you're a little kid. They're knocking on the door. She needs some flour. I ain't never seen nobody borrow flour. I'm just saying, I saw it as a kid. When you look at it now, a bag of flour, people borrow. Can I borrow some flour? That's Negroes. And Corey brought that up. He said the Negroes who smoke loosies, loose cigarettes. I don't know where you can buy those now. I don't know where you can buy loose cigarettes. That's them $2 worth. Give me 4 loose cigarettes and $3 worth of gas. Them back in the day, man. That's when you had to pat your pockets right there, man. That's when you had to pay with the quarters and the dimes and the pennies. I've seen plenty of. I actually worked in a convenience store. I worked in a convenience store from what 14 till like 18. I sacked the groceries and then I became a cashier. And that was at night. But then I just because I knew the manager. So the manager took care of me. He said, I'll pay you 40 hours. I worked there for like 2 months and he paid me for every hour. And they liked me so much, all of them, all the employees, right? They liked me so much. Man called me back and said, listen, and I'm a black man. And shout out to that brother. Brother, shout out to you. That brother said, hey, this is what I'm gonna do. I said, huh? He said, I'm gonna need you to do some things. I need you to come whenever I call you, right? He said, if you're in school or something, obviously not. But he said, if you're out here playing and I call you, you need to come. And I said, okay. I said, yeah, I'll come right to the store. He said, I'm gonna pay you for 40 hours a week, even if you only work 14, 15. And I need you to come in. I need you to come here early, take care of the lot, get the stuff off the lot. Sometimes I'm gonna need you to wash the windows. I'm gonna need you to stock the shelves. I'm gonna need you to stock the back every night. I'm gonna need you to keep up with it. You're gonna have to put your stuff in the back in the order. Yeah, I said, oh hell yeah. Man, that wasn't nothing to do. I could do that in my sleep. And I didn't drink at the time. I was underage. I didn't really drink. So I used to look at that beer. I'm gonna tell you something, man. I used to stock them shelves and look at why people drink beer. I used to always say that to myself. I'd be like, what's the point in drinking a beer? It don't taste good, you know. but I won that job, man, because I got along with the people, man. Got along, man. I was cool with them. And also, they would talk down on the they would talk down on the managers. I know to keep my mouth closed. But I called him the man, so and he knew I called him the man. I never called him by his name. I know his name right now. I never called him by his name. I never called him uh the man the man. Look, Michael B. Jordan, we see him right now, right? That's his co-worker or whatever. This is not about him smashing, right? But this is about when you have the right mindset, how the people eagerly want to support you. This is the type of reaction you want to get when you go to these parties. You can go out here and looks max and work out and you lift 425 pounds 15 times and you can run 10 miles. If you got a shit personality, it's not even going to matter, man. And that's the whole point between why you guys keep talking about you see the ugly dude with the bad girl. That's because of his personality. He knows how to touch her buttons, whereas the other guy can't. Didn't say the other guy was a bad guy. Yeah, he pays bills. He does what he can. He tries. But this guy makes her feel like a woman. It makes her feel like the woman she wants to feel like. And she knows it. What's up with you, Shaka? And she knows it. He said Harvey Grant did a reaction video to is that the what you call guy? Is that the TZM guy? Harvey Grant. Well, hey man, he said it, so I don't know what you want me to say. I mean, both those are two men. Once again, man, we got to go back to you know what? I don't get no credit for this. You got to choose your battles, man. You got to choose your battle. He invited people into the battle. I mean, but he's still, maybe he'll get even more money. Maybe he'll get even more money next week. Probably. Probably. The memberships, them $100 cash apps were flying. Maybe they'll be twice as much. He said if Kevin was on other streams, no, they people was over there, so they waited for Kevin live to end. Yeah, he had a summer, man. I wish Spike Lee would take a look at this summer of Kevin. He had a summer. And not I'm not talking about no Netflix. Somebody needs to do something, man, and bring in the wives and the daughter and try to filter out who knew him, who didn't. A lot of dudes didn't know him. A lot of dudes that's on here talking about him, they ain't know him. He needs to talk to me, man. I knew enough. I knew enough. And I was the only nigga really out here, man, standing on it. I ain't looking to get married, brother. Lauro said you up here fixing up strags. But see, we did it from a standpoint of respect. There was a respectful disagreement. Nobody disrespected that man. And to this day, I'm the only guy that say, I'm the only guy that say that was a clump of clothes. Other dudes saying that was a nigga. I said that's a clump of clothes. When you come into the room, man, You want to smile and you want them to smile at you. You want to leave a lasting impression. You want that woman to be at a certain joy just having this moment to talk to you. You got to project that, man. You got to project that. When I saw this little, it's a little video. I saw this video. First thing popped in my mind was charm. You got to be a charming dude, man. And you got to be willing to do what you got to do to get there. We live in an age where everybody wants it easy. Everybody wants somebody to hand them something. Don't work that way. You don't want it easy, man. You want it to be hard. You know, people climb Mount Everest and they as they get to the top, they see dead bodies frozen. Some of them people been up there forever, 10, 12 years. They've been frozen up there. I think they said something if they would fall into or something, they don't even waste their time trying to bring them down. So they just let them stay up there. They do that because they're trying to achieve a goal and they want to test themselves. You don't want it easy, man. And that's the ghetto too. When we talk about the ghetto, that's the thing about the ghetto. The Negro from the ghetto has been taught women are easy, relationships are easy, food stamps, hustle money, dope deal, thug it up, and look at the ghetto. Look at the absolute disaster it is. Kevin had a lot of haters, but in passing, they all claimed him. Yeah, we see that. What do you just got to make the right decisions, man. You got to have charisma. I'll tell you somebody who, unfortunately for them, who didn't have any charisma. Unfortunately, Mike Tyson. He had the money. He was the heavyweight champion in the world. He was in shape. He had the status. He was the heavyweight champion in the world. He had all the things you want, all the things that you tell guys, and he did it young. Mike Tyson, I think he won that thing at 20 years old, heavyweight champion of the world. But he had no charisma. He didn't have a winning personality. He had the wrong personality. And he was accused of committing a sexual assault. He wound up doing years for that. And it messed his whole career up. He had everything but the things that he needed to get what he wanted. Because that's what he wanted with the Robin Givens. He wanted her to care about him. But he didn't know how to do that. All he knew is how he grew up in the projects. And Robin Givens was a suburban private school girl. And when Tyson would throw and yell and get upset, she wasn't used to that. She didn't handle her problems the same way her mom. And they basically exploited Tyson. Eventually they just said, we'll take his money. But what I'm saying, if you read Mike Tyson's interviews, he wanted her to care about him. He did everything he could, but he could not get her to do it. And she talked about that he was a ghetto dude. He wasn't used to parents like that, he wasn't used to family. And people talk about Customato. And I said, what about Customato? Customato took care of him, raised him. I said, yeah, and if he couldn't box, would he be there? If he couldn't box, would Customato what we be talking about, Customato. Customato helped him out. I mean, Tyson helped out Customato. And no matter what you think, Customato failed him because Customato never taught him how to be a man. He taught him how to be a boxer. He kept him in shape, but he never taught him how to be a man. And he was around Tyson when Tyson was young, and he needed that male role model. He was unable to give it to him. And in many cases, you can say that the guys that he were his role models or whatever were bad guys. They were not good dudes to begin with. They were terrible dudes to begin with. Non-productive men. And if they influence you, you'll lose it all. And that's another thing about Michael B. Look, check him out. You don't see Michael B. You never see Michael B. Jordan at hanging out with Cardi B's uh, birthday party. You don't see it. He doesn't. He's not going to be around people like that. He could. He don't want to. He don't want to be around people like that because he's smart. And when you do that, when you're a high value man or you're a man of means, when you do that, when you hang out with the Cardi B's, the local strippers, OnlyFans thoughts, when you do that, you get what you deserve. You get exactly what you deserve. You shouldn't do that. A charming personality will get you everywhere. It'll get you first class. It'll get you a first class seat. You could be coach. You could be coach, and the pilot says, "We had some cancellations. Is there somebody you want to move up? They can know you because of the way you put your luggage in, how you talk to them, how maybe you said some stuff about. I'm not talking about sexual. The way you communicate. But that's another thing too, man. That's a no. Don't look. Don't talk sexual. I know about mode one and all of that. Don't talk to sexual. Don't talk sexual with women you just met. Don't talk sexual with women you just met. That's an accomplished skill. Only a few people can do it. And Alan Roger Curry, I know he's got books and he mastered it, but I think it's a bad idea to talk sexual with people you just met. It's happened to me, man. I got upgraded. I was on that coach, man. When I first got on, that plane was loading and the stewardess was there. And I think I said something to her. She laughed. And then her friend came over and said, what you laughing at? And then I told her friend and she laughed. And I told him where I was going. We had real small, short conversation. And they were helping the other passengers and stuff. I sat down. And then two, two cancellations. And they said that they can bring up some people from coach, man. That white girl came back there. I couldn't believe it. I saw her. She had got on, she said on a little microphone, she said, I'm going to bring up two people from coach. We're going to put you in first class. If you don't want to go to first class, let me know. And everybody was looking, and they should know she came back there and told me to get up. I said, damn. Nigga felt good too, bro. Nigga felt good. Man, I felt good. I said, wow. Bigger seats. You got your own waitress or stewardess just serving you. Food is better. They got better food up there. Dude I was sitting next to was a white dude. He was a wealthy ass white man. He bought me shots. He bought me shots the whole flight, double shots. And we had fun. That was great, man. We're going back to our hold up, here we go. Another thing, you can't care what other people think because you can't control other people. And if you are trying to be a charismatic winner, you are gonna come under fire. People are gonna lie on you, lie about you, but you can't care what they think. If you let that lie make you fold, then you're not a leader. You just can't care what other people. The difference between these men are they're going to be separated from the pack. Most men are going to be thirsty. Most men are going to be governed by their emotions. Most men are going to take the path of least resistance. And you'll see most men at divorce court, most men child support, most men mad at women, most men suffering. When you have the I don't care what other people think about me, you stop seeking validation. You don't need no confirmations. You are who you are. And that's the thing about telling the truth. When people need validations, they lie. When people need validations, they lie. And that's one thing about you. If your game is lies, you're already losing. Stop seeking validation. Stop lying. You don't have to lie. You are what you are. You make this amount. That's what you make. You this height. That's your height. Stop seeking validation. Stop making it about what somebody else thinks, the woman thinks, or whatever the group thinks. Why are you there? And when I say all of this, that's what I mean. That's your charm, right? Why are you there? Let them hate. Be rude. And I'm not saying rude to the people. I'm saying, look, this is my thing. If I go out somewhere, if you don't see me constantly, if you don't see who's that dude with the green jacket on, when I first came in, he was sitting over here. Now he's sitting over there. There you go over here, way over here. If you don't do that, if you don't do that, why go? And you got to start the conversation. You got to come in, start the conversation. You get a seat at the table. Literally, get a seat at their table. Literally. And yeah, I've been in a nightclub, man. Look over, there's a dude over there in a blue jacket. It's 8 women over there. He over there right in the middle of them. And then, you come back, he over there, he another group. And then you see him and you talk to him. He said, "No, I don't know him, man." He said, "I'm trying to get to know him, though." And he started laughing and walk away. That's the right attitude, man. As a matter of fact, that dude, I didn't know him like that. I only knew him casually, but I can tell he was a great personality. So, he wasn't thirsty. He wasn't mad. He wasn't talking to other men. That's what I'm saying. We said to that was about it. He was gone. You got to have charm, man. You got to be a charming, charismatic individual. And it's hard to do that in the inner city, right? It's hard because the requirements are so different. There's so much, I wouldn't, you know what? I wouldn't even say it's poverty. There's so much greed. I wouldn't even say, okay, it's a lot of poverty. No, a lot of the women are very greedy and they want you to do stuff for them. They're very selfish and they're very greedy. So, and what happens is you wind up dealing with them from a transactional standpoint. I know a guy he took, and you guys do. You know somebody. I mean, I'm sure you know about. This is an old story. I mean, this happens everywhere. Guy goes on a date. During that conversation on the date, they decide to go to the casino. The guy's saying, "Okay, since it's real late, we're gonna play a couple of slots, and then whoa, because I'll just say, I'm too sleepy. Maybe she'll join me, right?" So guy goes out there. So they get there on the floor, and you know, uh, he goes and gets, $400, right? She's standing there, he's playing, then he stops and says, "Here you go." And she looks down and it's $100. $100. He wants to focus on his slot machine or whatever. So she takes the $100, goes to another machine, and within 30 seconds you hear jackpot. The machine starts going off, lighting up, and you don't even know it. You hear it, and then you see people going over there, and you see a crowd. You look over, it's her, and she done hit for $25,000. And a guy says, "Hey, y'all, you brought her down there, and you're talking to her, and you say, hey, uh, I know I'm gonna get about 2,000 at or something. I know I'm gonna get 5,000, right?" And she look at you, and that's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying with the inner city, right? Because this has happened. She look at you, man. You lucky to get back your 100. You lucky to get back your 100. That woman gonna call her cousin. Matter of fact, the date is over. I've seen it. I've seen it a couple of times. There's a bunch of dudes running around here with that they gave her the money. She won the money with the money they gave her, and she ain't give 'em nothing. And the casino automatically gonna give you a free room. That's just what they do. They'll accommodate you with a free room if you win, because they want you to spend money. They'll give you like 3 buffet comps, a free room, half off on 3 shows. But they've been going out of business out here though, man. People don't have no money. There we go. You say he got more charm than breakfast cereal. There you go. Um, they're going out of business though because a lot of people don't have money now. Sports gambling is eating people's pockets up. Yeah, so she hits for a big number and she then turns around, calls her people, and looks at you like you crazy. You think you're gonna get some of that money. She don't give you nothing, man. So that's what I'm saying. That's a selfish woman. And would you want to be in a relationship with a woman that's selfish? That everything's based on her? And that's when a dude don't have no charm, man. That's when you're easily a replaceable dude. She don't see no value in you. You just like all the rest of them niggas that's in her DMs and yeah, fuck that, bro. But then again, I wouldn't do that anyhow. I wouldn't go to the casino. She just sit by me and watch me play. I wouldn't give her $100 of my money because she gonna cut you out. I know that's happened to her. And we bring up Michael B. Jordan because it's more to it than just working out and having money. He works out. He got money. He got status, but he also has a charming personality. Now you can go back to Lori Harvey, right? You see what I'm saying? Because they look at things differently. Look, I got no problem with Lori Harvey, none at all. But she looks at the world differently. She don't look for the characteristics that a woman like her should. She doesn't. Has her own standards, and in many cases, it's detrimental to her. But she doesn't care. And she's like a lot of black women, man, a lot of them. Lori Harvey, like a lot of them. The Negro to them is more or less just a concubine. That's pretty much all men are to them. That's all they are. They have no other meaning in their life. And you see that on the hip what Atlanta Housewives. You see it on all of that. And it's refreshing when you meet women who don't have that attitude. It's affirming. Like the stream, man. It's very important that men have charm. It's most important. And if you ignore it, you're going to pay for it. You're going to pay a price that is way too high. It's more than working out. It's more than looks. It's more than money. Your personality, your charm, your ability to win people over, your ability to bring people onto your team, onto your side, is one of the most important aspects. It's often overlooked, and it's one that actually you should have, especially if these so-called intellectuals. They should be the most charming people running around here, and that's what I said when I first got on YouTube. I talked to these YouTube dudes, and one of the things I said is, you guys, these guys are incels, or a lot of them are incels. I said, you guys can take a computer, you can take it all the way down to the motherboard, and then turn around after lunch, put that thing all the way back together. But you can't get a bitch. You can't get a female to get with you on nothing real. And that's what I mean by lack of charm. Having a stone dry personality. A dry personality. You don't know how to have a conversation. And then don't even let me say sexual. Your conversation is completely sexual. And that's disrespectful to women. See, when you look at Michael B. Jordan on this situation right here, they work together, whatever, but he don't have to have no sexual conversation with this woman. He has women that he can do that to. He don't every time he see a woman, he got to say he has to be sexual. He don't, that's weak, man. As a man, that's weak. That's a weak man. Men must have charm, man. If you're gonna make it, you got to have charm. You got to be charming, not just with women, but just life, man. The car salesman, the mortgage, the sales agent. You got to have all of that. People who don't pay, and then you have to take a look. What part of society do you want to be in, man? You want to be in the affluent? What is it, aristocracy? You want to be with the aristocracy? You want to be with that class? Or do you want to be on in the hood? In the hood, man, I'm telling you, bro, you don't want that. I think a lot of people romanticize the ghetto because they never lived in it. That's what I think. A lot of these rappers ain't lived in no ghetto. They romanticize that. They don't want to live like that. Go get you, if you want to romanticize the ghetto, go get you a 1979 Cadillac, punch a hole in the radiator so you can't drive more than 2 miles without the thing overheating. Break the lock and all the windows. None of the windows work. The seat is broke. The Cadillac seat is broke. Going back and forth, that's broke. The seat broke. You got food and catfish crumbs. You got to have charm, man. You don't have a choice. The choice has been made for you. Men who don't have charm, they suffer. And all of this looks maxing and I seen these guys that going out there getting plastic surgery, money. They still and they lose their women to dudes with what charisma, slick talkers. I'm not saying you not liars, but good conversationalists. How about that? They lose their women to men like that because they don't know how to produce a emotional joy in women. They don't know how to do that. Women don't really like them. They're bitter, they're gruesome, they're sexual, they're over sexual. Yeah, women don't like guys like that. They don't like men like that. There you go, brother. They like men who speak from a position of abundance. They like men who the old lady is at home in bed. They got to go and do this publicity run. They like men like that. They don't have to. Every man, the guy never talks sexual. The guy just focused on her. They like guys like that. They like that, like that. And let me tell you why the Negro will never push that because see, the Negro is not charming. The Negro is a thirst bucket. He's a thirst bucket, and all he does is listen to hip hop, and he patterns his whole life behind that. Give you another story, right? Pull on up, man. It's Thursday. Football over with, man. I'm so happy for that, man. I'm sorry. I got so much stuff I got to do, man. I had a wonderful season. That's a different story. Um, is it mouthpiece? Yep. Mouthpiece is a part of charisma. Communication. Yep. Um, when I was overseas, right? There was a black dude. He was married. He oftentimes you pay him $50. He would take your watch, right? Watches. Everybody got to do the watch, right? The watch is like security. Everybody got to do it. So they might say, "Hey, you're gonna be on the you're gonna be in B area. You know, you got to go there. You got to have your flashlight. You got to have your safety belt. You got to have your walkie-talkie. It's like being security, right? You're gonna do 8 hours. Everybody got to do it. You don't got to do it. You might have to do watch 4 times a month, right? But it rotates. Everybody got to do it. So this guy, he was married, so he would always say, "Hey, give me $50 or give me $100. I'll work your watch." And the people, then you put a little thing in. It's like a form, and the form would then say, "Okay, officially, this is you don't have to report for watch. He does," and it's real simplistic. So it's already filled. You just put the names in, and it says when, and then it's acknowledged. So then if he's late or something, they'll punish him. They won't punish you. So $100. So he kept doing that. So after a while, people was like, "Hey man, why don't you come out with us? Where y'all going? We going to Tokyo, man. Come on down to Tokyo with us." And he didn't want to go. He said, "Man, I just want to do my time, man. My wife, 2 kids back home waiting on me. I want to do my little, 3 years and go back home." So he didn't go. So about 3 months later, we were just like you be doing stuff, man. You all be over somebody's house, doing stuff. Anyhow, we were doing it. We say, "Man, let's go to Tokyo tonight." Okay. Come on, man. No, man, you coming with me, man. Come on, come on. So we got him to go to Tokyo. So the guy goes to Tokyo and he sits. It's a nightclub. It's real big. It's a big nightclub. So the guy sits in the back because he's married. Everybody else is out. Guys are doing what guys do, right? The women are doing what women do. So this drop dead gorgeous foreign Japanese woman, right, who's shooting everybody down. Everybody trying to talk to her. She's saying no. She sees him back in the back. He's pushed back, at the table, man. Just minding his own business. So she's curious. She goes back there and asks them what's going on. She speaks clear English, right? And he looks at her and said, "What you talking about?" She said, "Why you not trying to get girl? Why you not like everybody else? Why you back here by yourself?" He said, "Well, like, I'm okay." And no, no, I'm telling you, because he told us the story about 1,000 times because he married this woman. She said, "No, you tell me why you not talk to girl. You don't like girl?" He said, "Of course I like girl." He said, "But I didn't come here for that." He said, "I just came here with my friends." He said, "You come with friend? You're not Playboy?" He said, "Oh no, no, I'm not Playboy." So anyhow, they talked. And I'm gonna jump ahead. They talked. Anyhow, they decided. He said, "Hey, well, we finna go out." She said, they talked, and then he said, "Well, I gotta go out for like 6 months. I gotta go on Westpac, so I'm not gonna be in Japan." And she said, "I write. I write. I like you. I write." She was real fine, right? But he didn't pay no attention to it. He said, "Okay, here you go. This mine. This to write to that ship. This is the address." Okay. He said, "There you go. I wrote it down." And she said, "Okay, okay." And then they, basically people came back to the table. She got up, did what she was gonna do. Dude was like, "Yo, man, that girl fine." He was like, "Man, she all right." Anyhow, she started sending him a letter. No, when the ship was gone, she sent him a letter a week. Over time, she would always write, always write, always write, always write. He was showing people, showing us the letters. So this came from her showing us, he was sending pictures. Now, everything was tasteful, And then that's when he found out how much money this chick had. Because she was showing him pictures with like all these execs, all of these high earning dudes, right? And the dude was like, hey man, this chick, did you see this right here? He said, man, I looked this dude up, man. This dude owned like Toyota. I mean, yeah, Toyota. That man he works he the CEO at Toyota. And she's sitting right there taking pictures with him. And we was like, damn, man, what's going on with her? Turns out she was rich. She was filthy rich. And she didn't want a guy who just wanted to smash. And he got her because he wasn't trying to smash. And that blew her mind. She hadn't even been around a dude that wasn't thirsty. He wasn't thinking about it. The man was married. He was there waiting on us. It was a bunch of guys. I'm gonna go home with them. We'll hop on the train, go back home. So that got in. Look, the truth is that got his interest. Well, because he shows all these pictures, man. She was around all these execs, all these business people. I think her dad had a lot of real estate. She was filthy rich. And the ship came in, and it's a thing called man rail. Everybody got to get on the front of the ship, right? Look off the ship. Yeah, I'm live, bro. The ship came in, and we had to man rail, and we did. Okay. Yeah, I'm real live. We had the man rail. So man rail is when you stand on the end of the ship, man, the whole, like everybody who's off duty, and you look and you can see the parking lot. You can see the people, a lot of people, wives, kids, girlfriends, friends, family, everybody just out there like a big old parade as the ship has accomplished its mission and it's returning. That was like a black, whatever year it was, I'm not gonna tell you that, Mercedes Benz with a big bow on top of it. Like the Lexus stuff, you know what I'm saying? The holiday stuff. It was a black Mercedes Benz, fresh off the lot, brand new. Still had the titties on the tires. It was sitting there. So everybody saw that, and that's when everybody started talking. Like, who got a Benz? It's like, damn, somebody got a Benz? Who got a Benz, man? He started going around, right? So all the dudes came off the ship, and as they were coming off the ship, they were going by the Benz, and then they saw her. And they was like, and she was real fine too. Man, that chick was fine. And she was asking about the dude that she had been writing. And finally she ran across the dude who knew him. Right? A lot of people didn't know that guy. She ran across the dude. He said, oh, he on the ship. And she said, is he coming off? He said, probably not. Said, nah, man, he just gonna go work out, probably take a shower, hop in the bed. He's just doing his time so he can get back home to his family, like that, right? Well, he didn't say all that, but anyhow, he just said he ain't gonna do it. So anyhow, another dude came by. So another dude who knew him, who was there when they both met, was like, oh, you trying to find him? She said, yeah. She said, you can go on the ship. And she said, how? He said, I'll show you. Don't worry about it. He said, come on, follow me. And you got to show your ID. All you got to do is show your ID. They're going to write it down. You can go on there. You can go right on the back, all right down them, over them, down those stairways, and you go right into berthing. And that's what another thing. I've never seen women. They ain't supposed to go in there. No women are allowed in a man's, it's like a male locker room. I ain't never seen women not in there. See women in there all the time. You would think it's a female's space. They don't enforce that rule. I guess they got that rule for public, if the public inquire, man, be all types of women down there. She went down there. She talked to him. Blah blah blah. He was like, "Damn," you know. She was like, "Come on, let's go get something to eat." And he was like, I don't want to leave the ship." He said, "Come on, please, please come with me. I bought you something. I bought you a present." And he said, "What is it?" She said, "Let me show you. Come on, come on." So anyhow, she bought she brought the dude down there. He was left, you know, with something to eat. And then he went down there and boom, he saw the bins and he put two and two together. This motherfucker rich, man. And, you know, they went out to eat and that's when she expressed herself and say, "Yeah, you know, I've been with guys and guys are liars and I don't want a guy to lie to me. And I met you, you were so different than everybody." Now, the man was married. He never brought that up. "You're so different than all these other guys and you wrote me back, I wrote you, and I'm touched. I want to get to know you. This is just a present for you. You don't have to get to know me. I just want to get this to you for the experience." And he said, "No, no, 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 no." He said, "No, we can get to know each other." Man, that chick was fine, man. That's what I'm saying. I'm emphasizing on that. This was a bad chick. So anyhow, they went out, and then within 3 months, this nigga divorced his family. This nigga said, "I'm out of this, man." he said he sent the paperwork back to America, divorced his family. He got out, man. He got out, got with her. Her dad, her family was rich. He was gonna be working. They're gonna give him like a BS job where they pay him a ridiculous amount of money. And as far as his family, you know, he's gonna do his child support and stuff like that. He did that. But he stayed there, man. And as far as I know, he's still there in overseas. So what I'm saying is, because he was a charming dude, he wasn't thirsty. He wasn't like the other men. He wasn't crashing out. That chick saw something in him and found something in him that she never saw in the other dudes. Like the stream, man. And that's how he was able to achieve his goal. And it's having the right attitude, man. That's the most important thing you can have, man. It's more important than anything. Bringing your last relationship into the new relationship, that's a mistake. You do got to stand out, though, brother. Like the stream, man. I know it's early in the morning, man. We want to emphasize this, man, and make our point. It's very important. Like, share, support. You say he needs a stream for disabled guys. I didn't know that. When did you ask me for that? I can give you one of those. Plat. I need the same. I still need that stream for disabled guys. I can sort of get that to you. Well, I mean, I got it, man. It's pretty much like this. You got to believe in yourself, man. Unless you physically can't do it, you got to believe in yourself, man. You'll be surprised what you can get. You'll be surprised, man. You don't, and I hate to say it's a settlement, but you don't have to be with someone who's less than you don't have to be with someone who's less than what you want. Let me say it like that. You got dudes that's blind. They got a couple of women. We see a lot. Yeah. So I just saying, I'll try to give you. So I might have to get that on a preload because it's a minefield as far as the way you communicate. I might have to do it from that perspective. Like the stream, man. Damn. Hold up for a minute, man. Here we go, man. He said, I listen to your motivation. Oh, yeah. Uh, he said, I listen to your motivational video. Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. You should. And you should listen to my motivational video. It ain't got nothing to do with that, man. It's about keeping your head up, man, doing what you gotta do. Doing what you gotta do. That's what this about. You gotta do what you gotta do to get what you're trying to get. It's, it's money and the status, the whole looks, money, status thing. You charm more than anything. Like the stream, man. Can you guys reach? That's more important than all things, man. The look, money, status. A major part. He says, how much does one smile play a part in charm? Your what you project is everything. That's one of the best things you can do is learn how to smile. Even when people are frowning, even if people are looking, they don't have it. When people don't have when people don't have an expression on their face, when they don't have an expression on their face. You learning how to smile is very important. It's most important. You having the ability to have the right attitude. That's everything, man. And then you got to understand if you have issues, why you want to be in a relationship. So in a relationship. It makes sense to me. If you want to be in a relationship and you issues, you bitter, you're not happy with yourself, you're upset, you gotta be strong, man, because you're gonna have to be a leader. And you can't be a leader if you can't solve your own problems, right? And it's not even about smiling, it's about being pleasant and presenting a pleasant personality to the people. And it comes with that. Expectations. And Michael B. Jordan, when you look at a guy like that, certainly don't discount his ability to win. And like I said, one of the greatest things to understand about that is like, I mean, the party don't start show up. People don't start enjoying themselves, having fun till they show up. And if you don't have charm, suffer in the background. And what's the point in suffering, right? And how many times I don't sit back and look at the guys who win and complain but not make any changes. You got to, it's going to take some effort, man. You're not going to get the baddies, man, sitting on your butt. It ain't going to happen. You got to be have faith. You got to have confidence. There you go. He say he likes a woman with charm. Yeah, both ways. Look, if you out there, man, and there's a couple of chicks with blue or orange hair, and you just want to pump and dump, okay, be careful with it. Make sure you protect yourself. But your conversation should be made for a better class of females. It just should, man. It's just the same thing about guy go overseas. One guy go overseas, he go over there, he smash, he come back. Another guy go overseas, he can communicate. He dealing with a better class of women over there. He's smashing too, higher quality of women. And unfortunately, the YouTubes have messed it up because now the people on YouTube, when you get YouTube, you flexing and bullshitting and tricking. They try to act like players. They're really tricks. And a lot of these dudes don't even hide it. A lot of these dudes don't hide it. They over there buying sex. They paying for it. If them dudes was regular dudes, if they was out down banana trees and riding on motorcycles, women wouldn't even mess with them. Women mess with them for one reason, because they can get a bag off them. It's late night, man. I mean, it's late, early in the morning. We turn in the corner. We trying to figure it out. You gotta have charm, man. Are you a charming person? If not, why? Why aren't you charming? And if you're not charming, why you want to cohabitate? Like the stream, man. Support the platform. Hit the super chat, man. Hit the cash. I'm an individual, man. That's where it starts and that comes from. Valentine's Day, yeah, it's around the corner, man. It's around the corner. How generous, man. You being that generous. Charity starts at home, man. It's not about being selfish. Charity starts at home. And these guys, I see these guys go in debt. They go in debt for these They go in debt trying to satisfy these women when it starts at home. You have to take a look at that. Why is it like that? What's going on? Before you go out and throw all your money away trying to be somebody's Valentine or whatever, hoping she beats yours, man, make sure you got your shit. Is your car you when the last time you had when the last time you had, don't do that, man. Go out there throwing your money away. Look, these women, you gotta understand, that you don't continually eternally shower her with gifts, and that's not a woman who wants you, man. And see, unfortunately, we know when that woman don't want you, or these guys, we know what these guys are do. We got friends, we just live our lives. We see what women do when guys don't have a pot to piss in. They're taking care of those men. Walking away from gonna do what you finna do. You finna buy a bunch of poems. You finna read poems and hope, you know, you finna do Mike Tyson. Don't work that way, man. It sounds good. It don't work. Like the stream, brother. Go out here, get used to getting played, getting dogged. That ain't the way, man. Uh, that ain't it. That ain't it. That ain't the ticket. Look, shout out to you, American Negro, man. You showing up late in the dance. We finna get on